Well, this is the first Yali Summit that's been there in person since the last one was 2019. And so this year, it's the first time since 2019 that you've seen over 700 young African leaders here in the Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States, all gathered here for a 3-day networking session, a 3-day networking opportunities where they get to speak with U.S. authorities, whereby they get to network with each other after spending 6 weeks together here in the United States.
Now, Mike, are there any Yali fellows that stood out?
Well, there's a couple of young African leaders that really stood out this year, but it's not just them. They also have alumni that joining them this year. Among them was the MC. She's from South Africa, Gail. She really is doing amazing work. We also got to speak to a young Ugandan, Jamila, who is doing amazing work and has been hailed by the U.S. State Department. She's been in America for a couple of times, and she's done a lot of work on the continent, expanding her base beyond where she's from, which is Uganda. She is now operating in Kenya. She's soon going to be operating in Tanzania. She's soon going to be operating in South Africa, and she's soon going to be operating in Zimbabwe. And she credits this all to the Yali network and more.
So what are their reflections, Mike, on this 6-week experience in the United States?
Well, like experienced year in, year out, where Yali fellows come here to the United States, a lot of them really say they learned a lot during the fellowship. We had some that were here in Washington, D.C. at Howard University. I got to interact with a couple of them. And a lot of them announced one thing, is that they really learned a lot here in the United States. What they've realized is they've taken a lot of lessons during that 6-week period that they're looking forward to taking back to the continent and implementing. A lot of them, I asked them, how are you guys going to be implementing these things, considering the fact that you're here in the United States, you have technology, you have so many resources that you don't have on the continent? What they found exciting is the fact that they have limited resources on the continent, but the skills that they got were enough to make sure that they use their small resources in Africa to make a change on the continent.
Mike, what are they taking back? What are you hearing? What's the resonating point there between, the Yalis that you've spoken to? What are they taking back to Africa?
Well, a lot of them, the biggest thing that they're getting back is, of course, the network that they're creating here in the United States. A lot of them get to speak to U.S. leaders. A lot of them get to speak to U.S. entrepreneurs and U.S. leaders in different realms. And what a lot of them are getting is the network. Now, besides the network, some of them are getting one thing that's very pivotal towards business, finances. So the U.S. Summit itself and the State Department have grants that they give towards Yali fellows. And some of them are going to be receiving these grants and going back, not just with knowledge, but with a cash prize.
Mike, I have to salute you for, withholding all this heat, the summer heat in Washington, D.C. Sorry about that, but thank you so much for your reporting, Mike. VOA's Mike Hove reporting live for us from the Yali conference in Washington, D.C.